40% of Americans spend up to half of their income servicing debt. This is an interesting article we're going to work through. It's going to take up the majority of our conversation today. I got this article from Coinflation, but it's linked from Market Watch. The reporter was Maria Lamagna, and she put together a really good piece here. So let's read through it and discuss it. The introduction photo gives me the creeps because here you are looking down an escalator in a shopping mall. Absolutely one of my least favorite places to be on the planet. Just gross consumerism for cheap imported garbage. The only thing worth getting in a shopping mall is a pair of made in the USA jeans if you can find them. Everything else, absolute garbage. The stench, the gross food, the droves of hedonistic consumer zombies just wandering around, taking selfies and buying products so that they could forcibly conform to a culture that literally enslaves them. Yeah, everything about it. So I avoid them, and apparently Americans like to go there, and their discretionary spending is part of the problem, experts say. As we begin this article, please take out your Junius Maltby round if you have it. If you don't, maybe you can pause it and go grab it. Or if you have it on, you just whip it out and look at the reverse. You'll remember the first time humans wrote the word freedom or liberty, but it's deeper than that. This symbol, a magi, means manumission or release from slavery, release from debt, freedom from debt. There's a very deep meaning behind that, especially to me. And there's a reason that it's on this coin that unites us, this what we've come to call our challenge coin here on the channel. You know, the intent and purpose of it. Now that is a reminder, it's to serve as a reminder of being debt-free, because that's a principle that I hold very dear, and I try to push it here on the channel. I try to urge you guys to maintain that debt-free lifestyle, to be completely out of debt, that manumission from slavery, because debt is slavery. So to be released from it, just don't get into it in the first place. That's the best thing you can do, is don't put those shackles on yourself. So I want you to look at that, hold it while we're going through this article, and kind of think for a moment on what it means to be debt-free. What does debt do to people's lives? Think of the stress that it creates, how it can destroy marriages, how it can consume all of your thoughts and time, lead to sleepless nights, stress and anxiety, which will in turn result in health problems. There's so much to be had for living a debt-free lifestyle, a lifestyle where you don't have to be the servant to a debt master, because that is what your debt is. It is your master, and whoever holds your debt, they in turn are your master. So consider that as we go through today's reading here, this article. Americans are struggling to get out of the red. Some 40% of Americans with debt are spending up to half of their monthly income paying it back. And that may not even be enough to cover how much they owe. That's according to a study on debt Thursday released by Northwestern Mutual, a life insurance and financial services company. The polling company, Harris Poll, surveyed more than 2,000 U.S. adults in February 2017 on behalf of Northwestern Mutual. The survey found that nearly half of Americans are carrying at least $25,000 in debt, with an average debt of $37,000, excluding mortgage payments. About 1 in 10 surveyed said their debt was more than $100,000. It becomes an ongoing cycle and really hard to get out of, given that people are not prioritizing debt and saving for their future as the first part of their budget, Rebecca Barsh, the Vice President of Planning at Northwestern Mutual, said. Debts that are investments in the future, including mortgages and student loans, can be beneficial in consumers' long-term financial plans, Barsh added. But many consumers in the survey also said they're spending up to 40% of their income on discretionary purchases such as entertainment, leisure, hobbies, and travel, and a quarter said they are prone to excessive and frivolous spending. Previous studies have shown similar results. The Federal Reserve announced in early April that collective American credit card debt had hit $1 trillion, and total household debt, including mortgages, auto loans, credit card debt, and student loans, had hit nearly $12.6 trillion. In Junius Maltby terms, approximately 3 times the amount of all gold ever mined since the beginning of time. Housing-related debt is down nearly $1 trillion since its 2008 peak, but auto loan balances are $367 billion higher since then, and student loans are $671 billion higher, the Fed found. Mortgages made up 67% of the debt total in 2016. As a result, about 21% of Americans aren't saving any of their income, according to an April survey from personal finance site Bankrate.com. When asked why they aren't saving more, 38% of people said they had too many expenses. About 16% said they simply, quote, hadn't gotten around to, unquote, saving. 16% said they didn't have a good enough job, and 13% said they were struggling with debt. The amount each individual or family should put toward their debt is different, Barsh said. She recommended automatically allocating the largest percentage of one's paycheck possible to high-interest debt and putting discretionary spending at the bottom of the priority list. Many of you likely found this channel due to one of my earliest videos that really came from the heart and that I'm passionate about, and it was titled How to Save Money and Buy Gold and Silver. One of the basic points in that video was being debt-free, but also, in order to be debt-free, not spending money on things you didn't need, avoiding those discretionary items that were mentioned in the article. Some of the numbers and statements that we saw here in this article are absolutely staggering. You almost feel sorry for some of these people. I mean, their lives are going to be very difficult in the future when reality sets in. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what people that are going to find themselves in this situation plan on doing. And that might be it. They don't have a plan. They live day to day. And I think that's part of the problem with a lot of people is it's that 15-minute mindset. They just don't think in terms of years or decades or lifespans. I think a lot of other cultures are good at instilling that. Specifically, if you look over in the East, the Asian countries, India, China, a lot of those regions place a stronger emphasis on that, I guess you'd say, preservation of a dynasty, wealth preservation, passing wealth on from generation to generation, hoping that your children have it better than you did. It seems like today's modern culture here in the West has become extremely selfish and really just focuses on pleasing themselves and living for the moment. I mean, you see that all too often. Look at the TV shows, look at the culture around you, look at the shopping mall, that temple of consumerism, that picture we saw in the first slide. Just disgusting. People really just serving themselves. Now, when you look at that symbol again, the manumission on a 1 ounce fine silver coin, pretty much a precious metal, silver and gold, are the opposite of debt. These are the only true way to extinguish debt, really, is with real money. I find it humorous that a lot of the people that carry these debt loads consider themselves to be well-informed, educated. A lot of times, they watch the news or they'll listen to certain news programs regarding debt or investing, and they might even be investing themselves. But guess what? If you have an incredible debt load and you're generating a very high interest rate on that debt, it doesn't matter how much you're setting aside. If you're setting aside a little bit into some kind of a savings, or if you are, quote, investing in the stock market, because your debt is eating at any gains you could possibly be making. You have to extinguish your debt. You need manumission from that debt before you can start truly gaining some wealth. So that's why if you're debt free right now, if you're looking at this coin and that symbol really does mean something to you because you are very close to being debt free. Let's say you just have a mortgage or maybe your car payment left, but you're as debt free as you can possibly be, and you're stacking metals, and you have a little hoard or a little stack of gold and silver coin like you see here. That's wealth. You have something that no one can take from you and something that can extinguish debt. And if you can hold on to these, if you can hold on to your metal while at the same time going through life, cutting back where you need to and not spending money on things you don't need, and if you can maintain some form of a debt-free life, you'll do very well, and your later years will be much more enjoyable than some of these other people may be experiencing. So, I don't know, value that if you can. Please remember it. If you can, take a look at that image every now and again. If you're at the shopping mall and you feel like you need to purchase something, maybe use this symbol right here. Look at it one more time. Look at the Imagi symbol. And if you're out somewhere and you've got some discretionary item you really think you need or want, maybe just look at that before you buy it. And remember what it means. And look below it and see the word libertas, liberty. Because if you have that freedom from debt, that manumission from slavery, if you're released from it, don't swipe that credit card. Don't have a credit card. If you think you're going to go apply for a credit card, or you want one, or they're sending you them in the mail, before you fill it out or call or activate one, take a look at that symbol one more time and ask yourself if it's really worth it. All right. Thanks for being debt-free. Thanks for being part of the Junius Maltby channel. As always, I appreciate you guys being here, your conversations, your participation, and your ongoing support. Hopefully, videos like this motivate you and help keep you on track as they do me. Because oftentimes, I'm not just talking to you guys. These are speeches I'm giving myself right now. I'm talking to me. And you're just there listening. Thanks for being part of the channel. I appreciate it. Have a good day.